this is fine. This is fine. This is all totally fine. The zoo is not on fire. The animals aren't dying of a bunch of diseases like freaking MRSA. MRSA is a flesh-eating bacteria. We cannot afford to have MRSA here. Like, that is the thing when I was a nursing student, that you were trained to wash your freaking hands and like wear all of your protective gear whenever you were like working with your patients, because you did not want them catching that. That is like one of the number one things people can catch in hospitals that will actually kill them. That is like a hospital-based infection. So I am totally not panicking. I don't know what you guys are talking about, worrying about, you know, what's gonna happen to our poor animals. But never fear, we have a fleet of veterinarians here who are hopefully going to be able to help us to save all of our animals. I should have remembered that many of the animals that will be coming into our Turtlerock Orphanage here in the Mongolian steppe are actually going to be sick, because this is a rescue facility. We should probably go ahead and have a quarantine area that we introduce the animals to before we put them into the main exhibit. And that is going to be one of our main goals today, my friends, is making a quarantine zone, because this is not okay. Also, the cleanliness of everything is also getting out of hand. We need to make sure that our keepers are really scooping all of this poop. Apparently the guests think the tickets are underpriced. Excellent! You guys are all gonna contribute to like helping me keep all of these animals alive then. $10 and $7 it is. All right, what else? We have this beautiful new rotavirus. We have this beautiful new Taki, which is the name that we talked about last time of the Przewalski's horse. We'll talk about why we're going to be calling them the Taki from now on later. But she has gone ahead and arrived. We have a life-threatening version of MRSA going on with our scimitar-horned oryx, so hopefully we'll get that under control. And then we have a hungry, contagious Chinese pangolin. Oh my gosh, and I think he was actually, yeah, I think his parents are not actually here, so the Chinese pangolin doesn't need to go on contraceptives, but I do think he actually has, does he have any kids? Okay, they don't actually have any kids here. Oh, thank goodness. That means we don't have to worry about them interbreeding. Why is Ma here? Why do you have salmonella? Like, what kind of horrific grab bag of germs is this? We have a MRSA, we have camptovirus, we've got salmonella, we have got like, was it monkeypox a minute ago? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. All right, well, okay. Okay, how are we gonna handle this? Let's make the quarantine zone right over here first, because I think all of the animals we are going to actually have brought into this facility are indeed going to be somewhat sick, and we're gonna need to prepare for that. Also, is that corn? It's sunflowers! Oh, okay, that's very pretty. However, it is not going to be enough to like keep everybody from getting sick. Sunflowers, the joy of sunflowers is not enough. Let's see. Do I want to start like snapping? Chips does this thing where he actually properly snaps all of his things to grids, and it looks really nice. But you guys are here for the chaos that is Seri, so here we go. Alright, so we'll make a nice quarantine zone. It doesn't need to be too terribly big, it just needs to be clean and close to where the vet office is. And then if we ever run into this problem again in the future, we will be able to adapt a lot quicker, because our animals will already be next to the vets. Here we go. Yeah, we don't need to make it huge because this is not meant to be like a permanent area whatsoever, but I do want to make sure that it is at least a decent size. All right, let's do straight from here. Thank you very much. And then straight from here. And then whatever it takes. I almost had this even. Almost. Another diseased animal discovered. Okay. Yeah, like when I say a quarantine zone, I know there is actually an animal quarantine that we can send our animals to. If they're already here and sick, but I think a lot of the diseases that we are currently experiencing are because we actually had animals who were new to the zoo that I did not tend to first. I just yeeted them in and thought that was going to be okay. And I should have known better, because that's actually how my Gouldine finches, my beloved Gouldine finches, ended up getting the mites that ended up making them pass away, which still breaks my heart to think about. But my Gouldine finches, my mom gave me a finch that she had just picked up for me as like a gift, which was very sweet. But she picked him up on the way out to drive to see me. And so she didn't quarantine that finch. And I thought she had quarantined him because she usually was so strict about that. And so my poor little finch, my poor little finches did end up getting mites from that finch. I hadn't realized she had picked the finch up just on the way out, and so I only quarantined him for like a week and a half and then put him with my others, and he had mites, and it was like this. It was chaos. It was like the house was on fire, and it took me forever to like get everything under control. So Campylobacter looks serious. I think that that probably spreads from having disgustingly filthy enclosures. So let's get our keeper staff organized. Let's get them trained up a little bit. Let's get them names. And we are going to make a new work zone. All right, so let's see. We'll have some of our keepers be up here at the entrance. There we go. And I always like to add what animals are covered in here. Otherwise I forget. Pangolin and peafowl. Oh, that sounds so cool, doesn't it? I feel like we need to have a little pangolin peafowl party zone. And we're gonna have this keeper. Yeah, all the keepers are moving animals except for this guy. So let's go find him. And we're going to pick him up. Okay, that's actually a vet. Whoops. Okay, I was looking at the vet. Silly me. Okay, we're gonna come over and we're gonna find... Oh, and we need to get more keeper huts too. That is not gonna help us. All this work is stressing me out. Hang in there, keepers. All right, I'm gonna put you over here, and this is going to be a, oh, overpriced, dang it. This is going to be a brand new member of our staff, pulled from our amazing list of patrons who make these adventures possible. Thank you so heckin' much. We're able to just go at our own pace and have the pixel biology community be whatever we desire it to be, because our patrons support us in the background, and that way I don't have to suddenly start doing like clickbait stuff. We can just be true to ourselves. And I would like to welcome Chase. So this is going to be, bird caller Chase, an expert in bird calls. And they're actually going to be assigned to this entrance zone. There we go. And then I think that should go ahead and keep these guys happy. We're also going to start naming all the habitats, and we'll start naming them after you guys, of course. I love doing that, because then it's like, you know, when you go to a fancy university and all of the halls and libraries are named after people, I like to imagine they're named after you guys that way. So this time, let me go ahead and randomize the first name using the random name generator. Oh, because I do love random generators. But the peafowl exhibit is now going to have been donated by... How absolutely fitting! Goose Bucket! Oh, what a perfect way! So Goose Bucket, you say thank you so much for sharing that fact about the taki. I hope I pronounced that right. I agree that it's unfair that they should bear the name of someone who shot one in the name of science and pride. And that is such a perfect way to put it. There's a big movement going on, particularly in the birding world right now, to start renaming a whole bunch of the birds that just are called like Smithson's warbler or stuff like that, to names that are more reflective of the names of the indigenous people who have shared a much longer history with that species, or names that are more like of a common name, and not so much names that are just of people who like killed a bird in the late 1800s, took it back to England and said, "It's mine now, suckers." So I really like that there's a big movement for that, which is why I'm very excited to go ahead and start trying to learn more about how to change what I call certain animals, while still acknowledging that, you know, people are going to know the Przewalski's horse before they're going to know the taki. So that said, this is going to be Goose Buckets, and I can't use the apostrophe, it drives me mad, but it just doesn't work. Goose Buckets, Peafowl Paradise. And I will do my best to like live up to that and make this a peafowl paradise. So welcome Goose Bucket. Also, We have another wonderful patron treating this peafowl right now, exhausting herself and doing her best as one of our vets. Oh, thank goodness we have a vet office over here too. I'm so relieved to see that. But this is going to be Madeline. Oh, so let's actually have this be Healer Madeline. And everyone knows she is indeed one of the vets, but like healer just sounds more fun, probably because I've been reading a lot of fantasy books lately. Fun fact, I'm going to be kicking off BookTube over on my vlog channel, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But Madeline, thank you so much for supporting our community and for helping to keep everything from burning to the ground in my real life like it's burning to the ground here. Let's summon a mechanic. And let's see how things are going. So quarantine has now passed. Peafowl is ready to leave. Excellent. Shurian, let's go ahead and move you over here. And then this is a little quarantine, or it's a huge quarantine zone. I've actually never used a quarantine that's this big before. Yearly power cost is quite high. Once we move this guy out, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off because it'd be good for emergencies, but I think we have the emergencies underway. Also, let's actually name this quarantine area, just because we can. Oh, let's see. Oh, and actually, okay, never mind. We won't name the quarantine area. We have a request from a very sweet member of our community who asked, could you name one of the wild horses after me? And so, Christy, of course we can do that. We're gonna have, whoops, there we go. Christy the Taki. So Christy, welcome! Heck! Also, we're looking for a staff room for this exhausted staff member. Oh my gosh. Phew! Okay, so I think everybody is done being sick. Are you sick? The staff are really tired, so we'll go ahead and give them another staff room. Maybe even hidden around in here would be really nice. And let me rush up, and we're going to change the finances. Oh, for crying out loud. I know, everyone! I'm trying! Look, I need to change this real quick, though. We're going to drop the prices a little bit on our tickets, because quantity is kind of important on getting people in. And then the staff are all pretty tired. Can I give them a nice, cute little staff room? That's not too big. Small. Okay, that's a small keeper hut. No. I need... Oh, what am I doing? I need staff rooms. All right, we could do a new... Oh, that's actually kind of cute. I sort of like the vibe of that being triangular because it reminds me a little bit, not a ton, but just a pinch of the yurts that you can actually find, like in the steppe. So we'll go ahead and we'll add this in. It's not a yurt, but it just kind of gives me those vibes. All right, let's do a nice path for our staff. Hopefully that won't be too much. And now let's pick up the vendors who are so tired. They're gonna have to, I like how they have to walk through the grasses. Thank you. All right, let's pick you up. Just hanging around. Come on, mechanic. There we go. And now we've got some exhausted staff members hanging out with all these wildflowers. Should probably move the wildflowers. Oh well, it is what it is now. See, that makes it look even more like a yurt, doesn't it? Because now everybody is just sort of stuck, like, standing on a bunch of plants as though this was a tent and not actually like a room. Also, habitat cleanliness is now at risk for this zone. But we have our amazing keeper right over here who's about to get a whole new name and hopefully some training. Scooping all of that poop. So Habitat Clutter cleaned last year. He's already scooped 29 poops. That is a busy, busy man. And we're actually going to name him after another wonderful patron, Charcoal! All right, Charcoal! It's been so fun seeing you popping in lately. Let's see, what are we gonna give you the title of? Ooh, wow. That's a cinematic way to watch somebody scoop poop. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with that. But Charcoal, I think you're very clearly like a treasure hunter, we'll say. Because you're definitely digging all around the place. So we're gonna, or a geologist. Okay, we're actually gonna have Charcoal be a geologist. I think that sounds great. Oh my gosh, I just realized I was probably influenced because your name's Charcoal. That makes so much sense to want to go ahead and like name like you a geologist. That's a lot of poop they're scooping too, which is really great to see. All right, high amounts of litter. So that's going to be our next thing we need to cope with. Oh, wow, look at all of our beautiful animals. But I think everyone's going to finally stop dying, which is a joy and a bliss unto itself. And meanwhile, let's come over, let's check out the quarantine zone and see if we can get another Przewalski's horse in here. We're going to name this quarantine zone habitat after Olivia. Oh, Olivia. We're going to have this be Olivia Farmer. Oh, what a cute name. Olivia's olive orchard. There we go. And then that's, I'm gonna put in some little trees. We're gonna pretend this is like a little olive orchard area. Do I actually have olives? Oh, be still my heart, there's custom. Oh my gosh, it's literally an olive orchard. Olivia, we legitimately can give you an olive orchard right here that also doubles as a quarantine zone. How freaking cute is that? I didn't know I had downloaded custom olive trees, and I had no idea that these... Do olive trees get this big? Like, I've seen pictures of, like, Italian olive trees, and like those fancy shots of pretty places you can go and like on the side of an olive oil bottle. But do they get this big? I wish there was a plant thing to look up the plants just like there is an animal like pedia in order to look up the animals, like in Taito Ecology, for instance. Man, there's a throwback. How many of you guys remember us playing Taito Ecology? But since Olivia's olive orchard has just popped in looking fantastic, let's actually reset all filters. And let's see if we can find ourselves... Oh, I wish it was easier to search these. Oh, this thing's getting so big. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, Przewalski's, please. We can get some more female Przewalski's. Yes. Okay, let's go with this female. And let's go with... Okay, oh my gosh, the listing already expired. Refresh list. Ooh, high fertility on this one. Got it. Alright, so now we have 2 more female Przewalski's because I want to see a bunch of foals all over the place. And I have to say, even though this isn't like the perfect exhibit for Przewalski's, they do have a big giant area that they, well, it's not very big and giant for a horse, but you know what I mean. There's an open field. We're definitely going to work on giving them, ooh, what is this tree? A fig tree! They get that big! Good gravy. I am really like out of sync with my botany. Oh my goodness. But all right, so let's get the herd built together. And then I think we'll go ahead and start moving the herd over here, and I'll make a much larger exhibit area for them, because I think this would be quite lovely. But okay, oh my gosh, and there's so much litter. Oh no, there's so much litter. I do think we need to handle like our issues of our litter bugs. All right, let's put down a few bins. I like the word bins more than trash cans. We have such an international community. Like the other day, someone amazing in our Patreon Discord popped in and they told me about how one of the ibis species in Australia are referred to as like the great bin chicken or something like that, and it just tickled me to pieces because A, we call them trash cans in the US, and that's so boring compared to bin. And B, apparently like these birds raid bins all the time, and so they're quite the nuisance because of that. All right, where do we have the litter? It's mostly concentrated over here, and so we should be able to prevent those issues. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. There's a little path. Oh my gosh, they almost connect. They could connect. Somebody started to connect these and then was like, nah, never mind. Are you kidding? That would be precious. All right, we're absolutely going to connect these paths. It's kind of fun popping in here and seeing where people like started to build paths for the Turtle Rock. Especially because now you've got these lovely areas people can go on little hikes through the woods in. There we go. Ta-da! Ooh, we should put one of the education stations over here. Yeah! Get that education up. Get that education up. Teach people about the animals, about the world. What have you done to help? The Re-education paw stations! Oh my gosh, yes! I forgot about these. We're gonna have so much fun. A little soundboard. Oh my word. Okay, yes, I forgot these existed now. I have now remembered. I am ecstatic if you can't tell. There's also this is actually nice to see how much of the New World build stuff already fits in to like what we're working on. Because it's nice to feel like you don't have to reinvent a theme for every zoo. Says the liar Seri, who doesn't. She just uses plants for every zoo. I'm a bad fibber about that, guys. Who am I saying I try to make these pretty? I'm just so obsessed with like, yay, look, plants! Yay, look, we can make this place like a little nature walk. Oh, well, I'm trying. I'm trying. In fact, you know what? Let's celebrate with more plants. Let's actually take a little peek-see at what we have in the conservation pack. Asters! Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's the fig trees! The fig trees are new! And Korean pines. Oh, I can't believe I haven't looked through these yet. Probably because, like, you know, my husband Chips was here and I was trying to act somewhat like I was actually going to focus and get my act together on taking care of this place. And now you guys are stuck with just me. And we're gonna add in some wild fig trees. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, they're so big! Man, if Chips and I want to end up like having our own farm, or not farm, but like a little homestead, we're actually seriously, like, I know that's such a meme now to like have a little homestead in the countryside, but we're actually looking into it for real in the next few years, because we freaking love our mountains. But if I'm gonna look into that, I need to start looking into the size that trees actually are first. Because this is a perpetual surprise at this point. Little hats! Okay, okay. Yay, we have a little path. We have a lot more trash bins put down. And we have a herd of horses! Yay! Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and name these lovely ladies as well as the male who is leading the group. Oh my goodness. And now we're gonna have Cyber Queen! Cyber Queen, I'm so glad you too enjoy the point about how things get named. It's not fair about how scientific things... Okay, sorry, Cyber Queen. Look, you have a healthy bowel system as a horse. That's all I can say. I wish... In fact, I don't think you can use the poop as compost yet. I'm gonna have to look into that. I think that's Let's Build a Zoo. That's another one of my jobs as a zookeeper. Cough, cough. But it is very frustrating to see the way that animals or land or plants get named in ways that just are not remotely appropriate or respectful for the people who have shared those animals like their whole life. It's one of the things that I actually want to start doing for myself and my own heritage and history is learning more Hawaiian. Unfortunately, I don't know very much Hawaiian. Even though I am Hawaiian, I'm also German. Chips likes to point out my 23andMe reports that I'm more German than Hawaiian, but my phenotype is definitely Hawaiian. But I don't know very much Hawaiian, and I want to start learning a lot more Hawaiian, and so when I go and I see the animals that are in Hawaii, I want to be able to actually call them the names that my, like, great-great-grandma would have called them, for instance, instead of just be like, oh, that's a Smithson's, like, long-beaked bird. That would be fun. And a fun fact, Chips and I actually have long conversations about this because he is definitely multilingual. He has studied Manchu, actually, which is ironic because now, you know, we're hanging out in the Mongolian area. He has studied Chinese, he has studied Japanese, and I think he's starting to dabble in a few other languages every time I turn around, my goodness. But often I will ask him what a species is named in Chinese or Japanese and compare it to what it is named in English. And I have to say, usually, especially for birds native to Taiwan, the translation of the names of birds in Taiwan is so beautiful and usually related to the bird. Like, for instance, the five-color bird, which is a glorious, beautiful bird that has multiple colors around its face. It's so stunning. But if you look up the name of the five-color bird, I want to get this right. Let's see. If you look up the name of the five-color bird, it's just called the Taiwan barbet in English. It's what? Like, I would rather call these animals like the five-color bird instead of like, it's a barbet. So there's a lot to it that's not only like who gets to name it, but just things that make you think about like why are we using that boring name when we could go for something so much more exciting? But all right, let's go ahead and name our male now. So the leader of the stallion herd. Ooh, and Sharon. Okay, so Sharon, I'm gonna go with let's go with Kofo, Ed, because that's the second half of your username, and let's go with that for his name because, or well, we could just name him Sharon. It's so good to see you as always. I'm so tickled to always see your joy moments in our Discord. Oh my goodness. All right, and let's see. I think we have one more female in here. They do not count as his mates yet, but hopefully that will soon change, and we will be able to celebrate having many wonderful foals. Oh, there she is. Where were you, my dear? All right, and now we're actually going to go ahead and we are going to have Anastasia. What a lovely name. Oh my gosh. So Anastasia, welcome. Welcome to the herd. And now that they're all here, hopefully we will soon see some foals. But alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. We still definitely have a lot of poop to scoop and a lot of cleaning to do, but we're getting there. If you guys would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. Are we working on making foals? I think we're working on making foals, you guys. But most importantly, stay curious, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Dang it, no foals.